Yeah, guys, so I'm so excited today. We have Brandy. She's actually my corporate mentor. I meet with her on a call every month, and I just love meeting with her because I feel like, especially in this business, we are super excited, and then all of a sudden we're like, oh, and then we're super excited. And she just always brings that motivation and excitement back to me and in my business. And she's even helped some of my leaders as well, big time. I know Chelsea for sure. She's helped her. And so she is going to be talking to us today on goal setting, having a plan of action on Elite and Premier. And I think that's the basis of what we're going to talk about today. So I'll hand it over to Brandy.
Hi, you guys. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here. I'm in my office at home with my cowbell decor. That's literally all we have, so it's so fun. But my office has been neglected. But anyways, I just wanted to talk to you guys today about having goals and having an action plan and really like what it means to push for that goal so that your visions become a reality. But the very first thing I wanted to ask was, I know that you guys have amazing uplines that teach you everything on the road to elite, but I wanted to make sure everyone who is on this call understands everything about the road to elite. So do you guys have any questions at all, really, really quick, before I jump into everything else? So do you guys understand it and you know exactly what you need to do to get all your points and all of that? Okay. Sounds like you guys are good. If you guys ever have questions, feel free to reach out to me. I just want to make sure you understand it so that way you don't miss it by like one little thing, because that's the worst thing ever. I had a couple people miss Premiere last year by literally their person hit Success Club, but they didn't have an HD order. And so I don't want that to happen to you. So that's the only reason I ask. So the first thing I want to say is the first thing I want to talk about is your goals. So with goals, I think the most important thing is that we need to have a vision. So I want to tell you a little analogy about this story that I heard that I thought was really cool. So there is this younger guy that goes to this old man and he says, hey, I want to be as successful as you are. What do I need to do to be successful? So the old man says, okay, I want you to meet me at 4 a.m. at the beach and I will teach you how to be successful. And he's like, well, why would I want to go to the beach? Like, no, I want to be successful. Why would I want to go to the beach? And he's like, this is what you want, so meet me there. And he's like, okay. So he meets him there at 4 a.m. and he starts going and he gets there and the old man's like, okay, I want you to put your feet in the water. And he's like, what the heck does this have to do with being successful? And he's like, you got to trust me. You got to listen. And this goes on and on as he slowly progresses into the water. And finally, he's about to turn around like, this is weird. Like, I don't know if I want to be successful or learn what this guy is doing. And he says, okay, I promise, like one step further. And the guy steps one step further and he submerges completely into the water. And the old man grabs his head and holds him underwater. And the guy is freaking out, wondering what on earth is going to happen. And right before he is about to pass out, the guy lets him go. And the guy looks at him and he says, hey, what was the one thing you were thinking about while I was holding you underwater? And he said, breathing. And I want your guys' vision to be so clear that that's the one thing you're thinking about as you're pushing, as you're hustling, as you're doing the things that you need to do to achieve your goals. Because there are going to be days, like now, for instance, where we're in this super weird transition of like, this has never happened before in life. Like, what are you going to do so that way your vision still becomes a reality, even though things are weird? So like if I've had a call with you guys know I love the 12-week year because I'm that girl. Like I feel like he's taught me so much. So there's this quote that I love that he has in his book. It says, when an individual is reluctant to take the necessary actions required to accomplish a goal, it is an indication that they own their own current comfort more than they own the future described in their vision. How many times have we been like, I would way rather watch Gossip Girl than go invite because inviting is awkward and I don't necessarily want to do it, but Gossip Girl is totally in my comfort zone and I can do it. So I want you to be thinking about that. Is my comfort more important to me or is my vision more important to me as you step out of that comfort zone and really do those things? So after we know what our vision is, I want you to get in the right mindset. So I want to tell you guys a story. Sorry, I'm a storyteller. I like telling them. about when my husband and I were very first dating. So my husband is one of those people that like constantly is stepping outside of his comfort zone and doing like anything physical that pushes him out of his boundaries. So for our third date, he invited me to go ice climbing. And I really, really, really wanted to impress him. So I said yes, even though I am like absolutely terrified of heights, like literally the scariest thing in the world to me. But I was like, he's really cute and I got to figure out what I need to do to impress him. So we go to this place in Ouray, Colorado. It's about a 5-hour drive. And literally that entire 5-hour drive there, I'm telling myself, like, this is stupid. Like, you are stupid. What are you thinking? You are never going to be able to do this. I can't believe you said yes. So we get to the ice climbing place. And luckily the very first day we go in what's called the schoolroom. So I can climb up a little bit. And then when I get scared, it's fine. They can lower me down and I can hike out at the end of the day. But of course we're with like a big group of his friends, and he wants to do the tougher things. They want to do the harder climbs because they didn't drive all the way to Colorado to do the easy thing. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'll try it. Like yesterday went okay. But as I'm being lowered down, so the only way down is to be lowered and the only way up is to climb. Like literally there's no way else out of this pit. And I'm like freaking out. So as I'm being lowered again, that negative self-doubt comes back in, and what are you doing? You're so stupid. I get down to this spot where I'm starting to climb, and I climb a couple feet and I fall, and I climb a couple more and I fall back down. And at this point, like my fear is like so overpowering that I'm like, I'm literally stuck here. Like I have no idea how I'm going to get out. And to make matters worse, I turn to my right and there is a group of quadriplegics, all of which who have lost some form of a limb, that are crushing it. And they're making it look easy. There's literally one guy who has no legs and he's just using ice axes, just crushing it. And the leader of their group turns to me and she's like, "What's your excuse?" And I felt like the biggest idiot in the entire world. But you guys, what's the one thing that they had that I didn't, was that they believed in themselves. They had the mindset that they could achieve it. I literally had told myself the entire time as I was being lowered, as I was climbing, that I couldn't do it. So of course I couldn't. And guess what? They had to 3-way pulling me out and it was humiliating. My husband said he was going to kiss me for the first time then. And he was like, "You were too pissed off. I couldn't do it." So the thing is you have to tell yourself that you can do it. You have to believe that you can do it and have the mindset to know it's going to be hard. You're going to step out of your comfort zone. There's going to be things that you don't want to do. But guess what? As if you can do them every single day and tell yourself you can do them every single day, eventually it's going to get way easier. And eventually you're going to be like, this is my routine. This isn't scary. And so, just remember that there's this quote that I love that says, "Doubt your doubts before you doubt yourself." Because how many times have we not done something because we doubted ourselves when in reality it was just the doubt that was holding us back? So I want you to be thinking about that when you're in that negative mindset, or when you're struggling right now with like, okay, like how do I invite? What do I do? How do I step out of my comfort zone? Like, just remember, that's a doubt. That's not you not able to do that thing that you can't accomplish. That's just a doubt that's holding you back. So I just want you to remember that. And then the next thing is I want you to step out of your comfort zone. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are good at inviting, but I want to tell you a little story. If you were at NLC, I'm really sorry because Sydney gave this story, but I just thought it was too good not to share. So Sydney has worked at the company with me for about 4.5 years. So she's been there a lot longer than I have. And she decided to do a social experiment with inviting. And what the experiment was is she went through all of her personal friends on Facebook to see if she could find one coach. And she found one girl who was a Beachbody coach. And she was like, "I'm just curious, why did you never invite me to this coaching opportunity?" And the girl said, "Well, every time I go to your profile page, you have this amazing boat that I see you guys go out every Saturday, and you're in your bikini, and it doesn't really look like you need a transformation. And I know you work for this awesome mortgage company that you're making pretty good money, and so I didn't think you really need the money either. And I know that you have a huge group of friends, and so you don't really need the community." And it kind of pissed her off. And if you know Sydney, she's pretty sassy. So she was like, you know, I'm not trying to be rude here, but little did you know that I have struggled with an eating disorder most of my life. And I may have a really good body, but it is not a healthy body. And every day I leave my mortgage job, I cry because I hate it. I hated it so much. And the relationship that I had with all my friends was so horrible because of my eating disorder. I had pushed everyone away. So had you given me this opportunity, I would have jumped on it because I needed it so bad. And she said, she's kind of a brat about it, but she said, how dare you take that opportunity away from me? Like, how dare you take that opportunity away from me? Because I needed it. And so I want you guys to remember that sometimes people's social media profiles look like they have it all and that they don't need this opportunity, but it is not your decision to make, it's theirs. And so you have to give them the opportunity so that they can actually make the decision. And so just think about that as you're stepping out of your comfort zone. And maybe inviting is not the thing that's out of your comfort zone, but what is that one thing that's holding you back from being successful in this business? And figure out how to step out of that comfort zone and what you can do to make it so that it's something that's an everyday task that's part of your routine as opposed to something that you're scared of. So that was the next one. So the next, I'm finally getting to goals, you guys. Yay. Okay. So I want you guys to set your big, hairy, scary goals. Like, is that 5-star elite? Is that 15-star? Whatever that is, I want you to set those goals. But then I want you to actually figure out what it's going to take to achieve that goal. So, okay, if I'm going to be 15-star this year, that's going to be a huge stretch, right? If I'm going to be 5-star elite this year, that could be a huge stretch. So what do I need to do? So I need to have my smaller goals that are going to help me get to that bigger goal. And those smaller goals are going to be so much more important than that big goal. Because it is so important in coaching that we learn to enjoy and love this process, because there are going to be some times in our business that are amazing and other times that it's horrible. And so if we don't have those smaller goals that we feel like we're checking off and accomplishing along the way, it's going to literally feel like it's impossible to achieve those big ones. I think those big ones are super important because that's part of what helps us have our vision become a reality. Is that's the progress point in helping us know we're along the way. But okay, so if you're a 5-star elite, what do you need to do? So obviously you need 5 diamonds. But if we have only 5 potentials, are we going to achieve our goal? So if I know that I recruit 10 coaches, probably only one of them is a business builder, how many coaches do I need to actually recruit every single month? So if I'm wanting to be 5-star, I probably need about 10 potential people. So being aware of, okay, what kind of number do I need to get? And I'm not saying that you're not going to have more business builders in there, because you very well could. That's just the statistic. So I want you to break it down into those smaller things, just so that people can understand along the way that you're making that progress. Sorry. So with that, I want you to come up with an action plan. This to me is probably the most important thing than actually like the big goal, because the actions, so in the 12-week year, again, he always says, if you want to predict the future, look at your daily actions. Because how often do our actions not actually align with our goals? So if you're wanting to be a 5-star elite, I want your daily actions to be what a 5-star elite coach is going to do. So how many people are you going to invite every single day? What kind of content are you posting on social media? What are you doing every single day to like help push towards that? And are you aware of the things that you're doing, so that way you can feel like you're actually being motivated and pushed in that direction? And really like taking the time to analyze it and actually like love on it. Like, am I loving this process? And what am I doing to get there? So with Elite and Premier, for instance, we need 105 leadership points. You have to have 2 new diamonds, 5-star, and then you have to have that 5,000 week like volume. So we have the coach or the customer launch coming up for 10 rounds. Obviously right now you guys have the opportunity to be falling in love with that program and doing what you need to do. But am I going to get my 5,000 week like volume checked off during this coach launch? Like, is my team all on the same page and excited about this launch so that I can get that 5,000 week like volume checked off? Or am I going to use that during when we have the new Energize flavor launching? But like really thinking about strategically when you're going to post those things or when you're going to up your game so that you can get that 5,000 week like volume. Or do I have 2 to 3 people that can hit Success Club each month so that I can get the 25 points that I need? And then I'm hitting Success Club, so I have the 50 so that I can get the 50 points I need for Elite. Does anyone have any questions so far? Sorry. Okay, perfect. So what I want from you guys in terms of that is I want to know what your guys' action plans are. So if you can send them to Ashley or Sam and put me on the message, what you want your daily action plan is. So I want to know what your goal is. If that's team leader, team builder, team like premier, if that's Elite, I think every single stage on like every single step in the road to Elite is an important one. And I think all of those need to be important goals. And so I want to know what your goal is that way. And I want to know, okay, if I'm going to be team leader this year, I need to be a 1-star. So how many coaches do I need to recruit? And then I need 50 points. So what category am I best at? That's going to be something that's going to be huge is like, am I strong in this category? What can I do to maximize that? Well, with team leader, if you're really, really strong in the APV category, like let's get that out of the way. Or if you want to test yourself and push yourself a little bit further, then let's say maybe the Success Club category is your weak category. So let's max out that APV category, but let's see if we can stretch ourselves and see how many points we can get in that Success Club category, because I think it's also important to be able to show your coaches what's possible. But I want to know exactly what that action plan is. So what I want is I want to know how many business posts you're going to be posting every single day, how many sneak peeks you're going to be hosting in a month, and what that looks like. Is that just like a Zoom call where you guys, everyone brings their favorite drink and then you talk about coaching and that, or is it a 3-day thing on a Facebook page? Is it on Instagram? What is that like? What does that look like? And I don't need all the details, just like which platform basically you're wanting to use. And if you're going to be doing them twice a month, once a month, what that looks like. And are you guys going to be running a challenge group? What do those challenge groups look like? And then how many coaches you're going to be recruiting each month? Because I think those things are going to be really important. And then the last will be how many Success Club points are you going to have from your team members each month? So if you guys can send all of those, I don't know if I'm Facebook friends with all of you guys, but Facebook friend me so that way we're in the group chat with either Sam or Ashley. Is there any other leader on here as well?
Yeah, and Nicole.
And Nicole. Okay, perfect. So if you guys can all message whoever your upline is and put me on there with what those action plans are. And then I want you to check in with your upline once a week with your grade and then tell them, like, so if you're giving yourself a C, I want you to say, okay, so if I gave myself a C, what am I going to do so I give myself a B next week or an A next week or whatever it is. So that way we can make sure you're on track. And if you're giving yourself an A, but you're not progressing towards your goal, I want you to sit back down and analyze your action plan again. So that way we don't have to change your goal. We're just going to be changing the action plan so we can make sure that it aligns with what you need to do. And then the last thing is enjoy the process, you guys. I think so many times in Beachbody, I love Beachbody so much, but I think so many times we focus so much on the accolades that if we don't hit it, we're so disappointed. But at the same time, how have you become a better leader? How have you stepped up in your business? How have you progressed as an individual? And how much fun did you have along the way? And I think that's something that we all need to do, because I guarantee you, if you're having fun your team's probably having fun too. And you guys are more likely to achieve your goals because it's not all just the stress of what the goal is. It's focusing on how you guys are coming together as a team and building a bond with each other during the hard times, but then remembering to laugh through the process along the way as well. Because how important is it to have, like, you join for community? Like, that's a huge reason why people love coaching. That's a huge reason why, like, I want you to love your job. You don't leave your corporate job so that you can go hate another job. You leave your corporate job so you can love what you do every single day and share with people your passion and what it is that you do. And then as a leader, so I went to leadership this year, and the guy said to me, he said, the only thing we can do as leaders is to motivate and inspire the people that are following us. Literally, that is all we can do as a leader. And so if you're having a hard time, maybe take a step back and say, am I motivating and am I inspiring my team? And if I'm not, why am I not? And what do I need to do so that I can change that? So that I can get them excited about what it is that they're doing and why it's important they're making the sacrifices they're making, and really just help them understand that what they're doing makes a difference in the world. I love how Julie Voris like broke down Success Club, how she's hit Success Club for like an obscene number of months. I can't even remember how many months. And she's like, but I sat back and I thought about it for a little bit. She's like, it wasn't the fact that I hit Success Club. It wasn't the number. That had nothing to do with it. It's every month I hit Success Club, I helped 3 people. And maybe those 3 people helped 3 more. And maybe they helped 3 more. And maybe they didn't in terms of selling a challenge pack. But what if, because they had their challenge pack, they were a little more patient with their family that day? Or they decided not to yell at their kid that day? Or they showed their child what was possible by taking care of themselves and showing up? Or even just their partner or their friend or whatever it was. So I just want you guys to know, like, everything that you guys do truly, truly, truly changes lives and helps people find their purpose. Like, one of my favorite things of my job is when I meet somebody for the first time, I always like to ask, like, why did you join Beachbody? And not once have I ever had somebody tell me that it hasn't changed their lives. And it's funny because sometimes they'll be like, it's the usual story, da, 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 but it changed my life. And so it's one of those things that even if it changed your life in a simple way, and it wasn't that you like had this huge, I needed to overcome addiction and da 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 da, it still changed your lives. And so imagine if the person who invited you didn't take the opportunity to do that, then where would you be now? And so just remember that every single time you help those people get to that next step, and even just buying a challenge pack because you know that you're giving them the total solution and they're starting that process, that you guys have this amazing opportunity. And I'm excited to like get an update on how you guys are doing. And if you feel like, like you're going towards your goals and you're progressing and you're figuring out who you are. And along the way, like, how has your vision come to fruition? Maybe it's not all of it, but like what parts of your life are changed so that your vision's like one step closer, and being aware of that along the way as you achieve those little goals. But I'm excited to watch you guys succeed and just like crush this year, crush these goals, crush this quarantine. And yeah, anything I can do to help, please, please, please feel free to reach out, because I want to make sure that you guys are really like achieving and getting to where you want to go. So Ash, is there anything else you want me to touch on before? I know it's only 25 minutes, but you guys, sorry, it's like, I hope that you guys learned something and are excited about what this year has to offer.
No, I thought that was perfect. And I hope you guys kind of get what I mean by she motivates me every month, like re-motivates me and creates that new vision for me. So I want you guys to know too, like, you have the opportunity to work with a corporate mentor as well. Reach out to them. They will do calls with you. They're more than welcome to do it for you. But I loved everything. I have so many notes from that. My favorite thing was you saying, is my comfort more important or my vision? I think that was my favorite one, because I feel like we can all relate to that for sure.
Definitely.
Did anyone have any questions at all?
I have a question.
Okay.
Thanks for doing this, you guys. I was just wondering how we can get in touch with the mentors.
Okay, so if you are a diamond, so I know that there's a couple of you that are almost diamond, so maybe this will motivate you. But if you're a diamond, you're going to work with Kevin Shaw. And so if you're not in his group yet, make sure you go add yourself. So I want you to reach out to Kevin if you haven't already. And he has 2 pages. So the first page is for any diamond. And then the second page, he has like 3 requirements. You have to show him your tracker for a full week. Maybe it's 2, I can't remember. You have to have an accountability partner. And then he has a couple things he makes you do to get into his push to 1-star group. And then the second you hit 1 star, that's when you'll start working individually with a corporate mentor. So I work with the 1 to 5 stars primarily. And then we kind of break it up, but it just depends on your region. So when you send that email to me and your upline, let me know what state you are, and I'll let you know who your corporate mentor is, because it's all based on where you live. And are you guys all in your region pages? Do you guys know? Is everyone in their own region page? So oftentimes the person who posts the most in there is probably your corporate mentor, but I can definitely make sure I tell you who that right person is for sure, depending on what state you live in.
Is there a way to find out the region pages for somebody that doesn't know?
Yes, I know 3 of them, of the name of them. So mine is the Northeast, I'm like throwing my pen, Northeast Great Lakes Beachbody Coaches page. And then the Southeast, so that's for the Northeast and the Great Lakes. So it's from Wisconsin to Ohio and Michigan, I believe, is the Great Lakes, down to Kentucky and West Virginia. And then, Tennessee's now in there too. What I'll do, Ash, is I'll just send you the states and the breakups, because it gets confusing. So I'll have to look at the state, like a map, and then I'll send it over to you on how it's broken up. But there's Southeast, Northeast, Great Lakes, Central, and West are all of the pages. So I'll kind of help you break that up.
Okay, awesome.
To Jess, Holly, and Amber, we're in the West region, and Sydney's our corporate mentor.
Yes, and Sid's awesome. Sid's the one I told you the story on. So she's pretty sassy. I like Sid.
I just had a one-on-one call with her yesterday. She was giving all the sass.
Yep. Do you guys have any other questions? Okay.
No? Awesome. Thank you
I'm
so
excited to
much,
watch you guys crush this year. Sorry, Ash.
Yeah. No, that was awesome. I love all the storytelling, all of those. It was really good for me. I had chills the entire time, so I feel like that's a good thing.
Good. Well, thank you guys so much. Again, I know that you're in different regions, but if you ever have questions on anything, I am more than happy to help any way I can. So please reach out to me. Any questions on anything, any way I can help. Like I said, please reach out to me. And I'm excited for you guys. Like, show me your action plans, and then we'll follow up and see how it's going. So thank you, and have an amazing week, you guys.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good day, guys.